when someone's awareness of you begins to shift. It almost never arrives as a moment you can point to with certainty, yet nearly everyone has experienced it without realizing what was happening at the time. It begins when your presence stops being processed automatically and starts being processed deliberately. Before this shift, you exist in their mental background, familiar, predictable, easy to categorize, easy to overlook. You are registered efficiently, the way most people are, because the mind is designed to conserve energy. Interactions with you require no extra attention, no reflection, no internal dialogue. Then something subtle changes. Their response is slowed down, their eyes linger a fraction longer. Their tone becomes slightly more intentional. They remember things you said that they once would have forgotten, not because you suddenly became impressive, louder, or more charismatic, but because you stopped behaving in ways that made you easy to mentally file away. Awareness often increases not through addition, but through subtraction. When you stop over-explaining, when you stop preemptively justifying yourself, when you stop filling every silence to maintain comfort. Silence is powerful here because silence interrupts autopilot. It forces presence. It forces the other person to actually register you in real time instead of gliding through the interaction. Before awareness, responses are scripted and automatic. After awareness, there is friction, and friction creates attention. This is where many people misunderstand what is happening. They mistake awareness for interest, approval, or attraction. But awareness is none of those things yet. Awareness simply means you have crossed from being unexamined into being noticed. That alone can feel intense because invisibility is psychologically dulling. Once someone becomes more aware of you, they also become more aware of themselves around you. They notice how they speak, how they react, what they reveal. That self-awareness can be uncomfortable, which is why this phase often includes inconsistency. Someone who was once predictable may become warm one day and distant the next. This is not manipulation or rejection. It is recalibration. The mind is reassessing where you belong in its internal hierarchy. During this phase, subtle testing may appear like disagreement, small provocations, unexpected questions. This is not hostility. It is measurement. Before awareness, there is nothing to measure. After awareness, there is. Many people panic here. They try to stabilize the interaction. They seek clarity, reassurance, or confirmation. They rush to label the dynamic. Ironically, this usually collapses awareness instead of deepening it. Awareness thrives in unresolved space. When everything is explained too quickly, the mind relaxes again and categorizes you. The mystery dissolves. This is not about playing games or withholding. It is about not forcing emotional conclusions before the mind has finished processing. What sustains awareness is coherence. Your pacing matches your words, your tone matches your boundaries, your behavior matches your self-perception. There is no scrambling to impress and no overcorrection to maintain approval. When someone senses internal consistency, they shift from evaluating you to becoming curious about you. On your side, this phase requires restraint. Once you feel someone's awareness increase, the temptation is to monitor their reactions, scan for confirmation, and subtly adjust yourself to maintain the dynamic. But awareness is not maintained by attention. It is maintained by orientation. When your attention collapses inward toward managing perception, you shrink. When your orientation remains outward toward your direction, values, and steadiness, awareness has room to grow. This is why people who generate lasting interest rarely look like they are trying to generate interest. They are not chasing, and they are not withholding. They are simply not reorganizing themselves around being noticed. At a deeper level, awareness forms when interacting with you creates a small but unresolved internal activation. Not dramatic, not destabilizing, just enough to be felt and remembered. Over time, awareness either deepens into attraction, respect, or emotional relevance, or it fades if the interaction becomes overly predictable or needy. The outcome depends less on what you do next and more on what you stop doing. You stop forcing clarity. You stop narrating the dynamic. You stop performing for outcome. You allow awareness to mature. Awareness does not announce itself. It shows up in lingering attention, subtle behavioral shifts, and responses that feel slightly more deliberate than before. Recognizing this changes how you move through interactions. You stop chasing reactions. You stop mistaking being noticed for being chosen. You stop collapsing your frame the moment someone registers you more fully. Paradoxically, that steadiness is what allows awareness to become something real, not because you demanded it, but because you did not interrupt it.